Time for Big Game Breakdown. As always, live odds, sportsbookreview.com. Big game tonight in the association. Only 7 days left in the regular season. Milwaukee hits the road to take on the Pacers. Indiana 4.5, 201 the total. It's 40-38 against 38-40. Look at the bottom of the East here. The 5, 6, 7, and 8 seed. One of the 5 won't make it. All seeds still open. Miami, Chicago, and Indiana all have the same record. Miami, it does have the tiebreaker over the Pacers. The Heat get the big win in Charlotte last night. The Bucks have owned the Pacers so far. November 3rd, they were +3 and won 125-107. February 11th, they were catching 6. They won by 16 at Indiana. And then they played a couple weeks ago. Milwaukee was laying 1. They won by 14. Kidd has done a nice job with this squad, Teddy.
Yeah, he sure has. And he's done a real good job against the Pacers. Again, go through those first 3 meetings this season. We're talking Milwaukee -1, +6, and +3 in those games, and they've won them all by 14 or more. It's been a matchup that has worked very, very well for Jason Kidd and company. And I like what Kidd did in Oklahoma City on Tuesday. You know, he could have gotten tight under the collar, but instead he did the smart thing. He just let the game go, and that's what you have to do as an NBA coach sometimes. The Bucks fell down by 24 in the second quarter versus the Thunder, and Kidd didn't chase. The starters played less than 114 out of 240 total floor minutes, which may give them a little bit of a freshness edge here, but it's not just all about freshness for Milwaukee. They have an issue right now at the point guard spot since Malcolm Brogdon got hurt.
And he's missed the last 3 games. The ugly overtime win against Detroit. Lost straight up as home chalk to Dallas, then buried at OKC. Not a star yet, but who plays point guard without Brogdon? Delly, Terry, Peyton Jr. might be the worst rotation in the NBA at that position. Here's the Greek freak. Quote, the most important thing is for us to get back to our flow and what we were doing before these last 2 games. We were playing hard defensively, and I believe our effort was really high before those 2 games, and our offense was a lot cleaner. That had a lot to do with Malcolm being out, who's one of our best playmakers, end quote. Now, the Pacers with a character win on Tuesday. They won 108-90 over Toronto at home. They entered the game on a 4-game losing streak. They just lost in double overtime at Cleveland, 135-130. Could have been the last straw because they're down 19 midway through the second. They didn't quit. They outscored them 82-45 the rest of the way. George had 35 and 10, and 4 others scored in double digits. Here's George. This was a must-win. I wouldn't say we could forget about the playoffs if we lost this one, but we could have dug ourselves in an even deeper hole and had to rely on teams beating Chicago, Miami, instead of us controlling how we've got to play this thing out, end quote. What do you think of the Pacers now, and if they're shorthanded in this one, too?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Indiana's still a little bit shorthanded. I mean, Al Jefferson hasn't been an impact player for that team, but he's going to miss his 6th straight game. Glenn Robinson, at times this year, has given him a spark. He's going to miss his 8th straight game. This quote from Nate McMillan stands out to me, talking about how the Pacers are going to approach this final week of the season. Quote, you have to go all out. And that's what we've been talking about, really, the last month when we had everybody healthy. There's no time to save yourself or to pace yourself. We can't worry about fatigue or even really think about that. So, sounds like balls to the wall for Indiana down the stretch. A team that saved their season for at least a day, but as we saw with Charlotte last night, saving your season short term isn't necessarily saving your season long term. I don't think that the Pacers are the better of these 2 teams.
Hey guys, for the full video, go to sbrpicks.com.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.